Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving into something I think a lot of us need to hear about: deep tissue massage. It's a really powerful technique that honestly gets right to the root of so many of our aches and pains.
So let me just ask you this straight up. In our crazy, nonstop lives, do you ever feel like stress and chronic pain have just moved in? Like they're these unwelcome roommates you can't get rid of? If you're nodding along right now, trust me, you are in very good company.
And that's really the heart of it. It's this problem of modern pain. For so many of us, physical discomfort isn't a once-in-a-while thing. It's a constant battle we're fighting every single day.
And look, this doesn't just pick on one type of person. We're talking about athletes who are constantly pushing their bodies to the absolute limit. We're talking about office workers who spend hours, hunched over a computer. And of course, anyone who's just trying to get back to normal after an injury. The one thing they all have in common: they're all looking for real, lasting relief.
So what do you do when just stretching or a hot bath doesn't quite cut it anymore? Well, sometimes the answer is you've got to go a little deeper. And that brings us right to our main event today, a much more profound kind of relief. So let's get a really clear picture of what this is. Deep tissue massage, at its core, is all about targeting those deeper layers of muscle and something called fascia. Think of fascia as this intricate web of connective tissue that kind of holds everything together. And the key here isn't about speed. It's all about slow, very firm, and sustained pressure.
And why all that intense pressure? What's the point? Well, the main goal is to break down these tough, painful bands of tissue called adhesions. You and I probably know them by a much simpler name: knots. By working on and releasing these knots, the whole idea is to get your full range of motion back and, let's be honest, finally get rid of that nagging pain.
But this isn't just about feeling good for an hour. There is some serious science that shows how effective this really is. So let's actually dig into the research a little bit.
And this is where it gets really interesting. The benefits are way more than just tackling sore muscles. Of course, it helps with chronic pain, but studies show it can also lower stress hormones, which is huge. It can even have a positive effect on blood pressure. Plus, by boosting circulation, it can help you recover from injuries faster and improve your overall flexibility. It's kind of like a total system reboot.
Now, I want to zero in on that pain relief benefit for just a second. And to do that, we need to talk about one specific year: 2014.
Why 2014? Because a pretty remarkable study came out that year. It found that for people suffering from chronic low back pain, deep tissue massage was just as effective as taking non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. NSAIDs, like the ibuprofen or naproxen you'd grab from the medicine cabinet. Think about that. This was a real game changer, validating a drug-free way to manage pain.
Okay, so you might be sitting there thinking, got it, I've had a massage before. But I have to stop you right there. It is so important to understand that this is a completely different animal. This is not your average relaxing spa massage.
And this table just lays it out perfectly. Look at the goals. A Swedish massage, that's all about general relaxation. It feels amazing. But deep tissue has a mission. It's a treatment designed to target chronic pain. The pressure is way more intense, the strokes are slower and more deliberate, and the focus is laser sharp on your specific problem areas, not necessarily a whole body experience.
So what's it actually like when you're in the room? Well, first things first, you'll have a real conversation with your therapist about what hurts. They're not just going to dive in. They'll start with lighter pressure to warm everything up. Then, they'll gradually go deeper using their knuckles, elbows, you name it. But here's the most important part, number 4, communication. You have to speak up. This is a team effort, and if the pressure is ever too much, you need to say so.
And that brings us to the million-dollar question: does it hurt? The best way I've heard it described is as a good hurt. Yeah, you'll probably feel some real discomfort when the therapist is working on a super tight spot, but it should never feel sharp or unbearable. Kind of like a really deep stretch or a tough workout. It might even leave you a little sore the next day, and that's totally normal.
So, we've gone over what it is, how it works, and what it feels like. Now for the most important question of all: is deep tissue massage actually right for you? This is really the bottom line, isn't it? Who is the ideal candidate for this kind of therapy? And just as importantly, are there folks who should maybe be a little bit more cautious before they book an appointment?
Okay, this is super important. While deep tissue is generally very safe, it is absolutely not for everyone. You must talk to your doctor first if any of these things apply to you. If you have a history of blood clots, if you're on blood thinners, if you have a bleeding disorder, are getting cancer treatment, or have something like osteoporosis. When it comes to your health, safety is always number one.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. For anyone out there who's been living with that stubborn, persistent pain, what if the key to finally unlocking relief isn't about what you can add, but about how much deeper you're willing to go to find the source? Definitely something to think about.